On Friday, as Russian occupying forces dispersed to the east bank of the Dnipro River, Ukrainian troops marched into Kherson, welcomed by masses of jubilant citizens waving blue and yellow flags and singing the national hymn. The Russian retreat significantly undermines Moscow's ambition to annex Odessa and shut off Ukraine from the Black Sea. The Russian military is currently erecting a new defensive position while anticipating another Ukrainian attack. The citizens of Kherson awaited. They remained committed to Ukraine. During a national address to celebrate the win, a triumphant President Volodymyr Zelensky declared that hope for Ukraine is always justified, and Ukraine always regains its own. The Russian invasion's biggest setback since being driven from the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv in April, the turnabout is yet another huge setback for Russian President Vladimir Putin's war objectives. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, as of 5 a.m., troops have left Kherson and other areas on the western bank of the river. Russian time. On the right bank, not a single piece of military hardware or weaponry was left. According to the statement, all Russian service members crossed to the Dnipro River's left bank. Russian armed forces formations and military units occupied defensive lines and positions on the right bank. Ukrainian units are invading the city, according to military intelligence in Ukraine. The Ukrainian army is controlling the fire on the Russian occupants' withdrawal routes. Any retaliatory actions will be put down, according to the Ukrainian statement. We will kill every Russian soldier who resists. Your immediate surrender is your only chance to live. Military intelligence claims that once the major contingent of Russian soldiers left Kherson, the remaining soldiers were abandoned and told to dress in civilian clothes and attempt to flee the city on their own. The majority of the inmates are lost, according to Alexei Arestovich, a Zelensky advisor. An early morning report by a Russian combat journalist revealed that Russian soldiers in retreat had blown up the Antonovsky Bridge over the Dnipro. As part of a Russian effort to stop the Ukrainian military from crossing to the other side of the river in pursuit, a second bridge across the Dnipro, close to the Kakhovka hydroelectric power station, was also detonated by Ukrainian attacks using HIMARS rocket systems developed in the United States in earlier months. The bridges had already sustained significant damage. Arestovich stated, the Antonovsky Bridge is no longer there. The Kakhov Dam is impassable for automobiles. On Wednesday, Sergei Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, confirmed the withdrawal. Putin has kept a curiously low profile on the disaster. Within days of Russia's invasion on February 24, Kherson, a metropolis of about 300,000 people, was taken. It was the only provincial capital to do so. Kherson and 3 other regions were forcibly annexed by Putin in late September, with the promise that they will always be part of Russia. However, the Ukrainian military, armed with Western artillery and rockets, spent months shelling Russian positions and demolishing bridges over the broad Dnipro River, making it harder to supply the tens of thousands of Russians on the western bank. Without mentioning Kherson specifically, former President Dmitry Medvedev stated on his social media website that the concept of territorial sovereignty in our nation has not evaporated. All things will return home to the Russian Federation, added Medvedev, who at the moment is the Russian Security Council's vice chairman. However, Ukraine's efforts to reclaim its land are continuing.